Hi, Rob Lowe. My name is Sarah Newman. I'm calling from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was so curious. One of my favorite shows of all time was The Grinder, and I can't even tell you how disappointed I was when it was not picked up for a second season. The writing, the delivery, the chemistry between you and Fred Savage, I thought it was electric. So what I'd love to learn is when things like that happen, how does Rob Lowe process rejection and overcome to learn lessons and move on? Thank you so much for your podcast. I am absolutely loving it. I can't get enough of it. Thanks for everything that you do. I appreciate your talent, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Take care.
Wow, Sarah. Thank you so much for that. I so appreciate it. And you're right. That like rocked my world when The Grinder didn't get picked up. Because with all possible humility, I have to say, I think the show's genius. I loved it. I would put The Grinder up there with any comedy ever made. I really mean that. And I'm not trying to be like an egomaniac or anything. I mean, I just loved the show. I loved it. And, you know, I have all these theories that really it's a streaming show that should have been on a streamer. And if it had been on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or Apple, it would still be going on today. For sure it would. But it was a little too weird for network. But I do have total appreciation that they put it on in the first place. I couldn't believe that Fox put it on to begin with. So I was really grateful that we got to do 22 of them. And we have 22 episodes. And, you know, I'm a positive person. You asked me how I deal with rejection. I think I was wired that way, to be a glasses half full guy. So my takeaway is we got to do it, and there are 22 of them, and they're there forever. And you can watch them on Hulu, or you can find them, and they're not going anywhere. If we'd have made this show 10 years ago, you wouldn't be able to find it. But now in the world that we live in, things live forever. And when you make something bad, that's the bad news. But when you make something good, it's the good news. And I love The Grinder. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It is, and I love Parks and Recreation. Obviously, I do a podcast about it. I love it. The Grinder's my favorite comedy I've ever been in, period. So thank you for that. And again, resilience, dealing with rejection, everybody deals with it. And, you know, it doesn't matter who you are, what your life circumstances is, everybody does. Everybody deals with rejection. And part of the comfort is knowing that, and knowing that, you know, you're not alone. Everybody has it. The stakes may be different in different people's lives, but it doesn't make it any easier. And I think that having a positive outlook and not grousing about it, not being a victim, there's a lot of victim stuff in the culture. I am not a fan at all. I think that to the extent that you take responsibility for your own stuff, good and bad, is to the extent that you're empowered to move forward. And if I sat around and went, the network screwed me, that was a great show and they canceled it, boo, network, then I would end up being at the mercy of the network. But instead, I'm empowering myself by not doing that. So that's sort of what I try to tell people who ask me and tell my kids, and I hope that made some sense. Thank you for calling in, and thank you for listening.